You are now entering Video Village.
For requests or queries, contact your damn ass.
Coming up,
Sam reviews Fairyland, On Falling, Nuremberg, The Beast in Me, and Anemone.
Jordan reviews The Hack,
And we both review Relay,
Black Phone 2,
Shelby Oaks,
The Lowdown,
The Smashing Machine,
and Frankenstein. We're going to begin with a Lexicentre.
straight away.
Yeah, it's nice and simple, innit? No,
Okay.
no, like interrupting the review nonsense, even though there's context then. But who cares? Lexicentre.
It's time. Sam, Lexicentre. Definition.
So this is a period piece peopled with minorities, be that ethnically, sexually, that ignores or subverts historical context. To be distinguished from colourblind casting,
Okay.
here minority casting is the conscious intent. For example, Hamilton or Bridgerton.
Right, okay.
It functions as both noun and verb. I think is a Hamiltone, and we can Hamiltone that thing. Hamiltone it up. So you get what I'm saying with that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So this is the opposite of whitewashing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, we'll cast whoever, like we're not going to put the race in the description. This is, no, we are deliberately, Hamilton is Puerto Ricans now. You know what I
Right,
mean? I'm
okay.
black. Anyway, that's that. Can you turn the light on for me?
On.
Yeah, because I'm old now. I'll be able to read.
Ooh, need to put glasses over me glasses.
I got some reviews for you before we both do reviews.
Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, this is a review show.
That's true. That is true. Okay, so a couple of relatively quick ones. Fairyland is the first one.
Okay.
This is the directorial debut of Andrew Durham, based on Alicia Abbott's Fairyland, a memoir of my father. So it's a coming-of-age drama set in the 70s and 80s in San Francisco. Scoot McNairy is father of a young girl. Her mother dies. He's actually gay.
Okay.
And it's kind of, he tried it with the mother. They loved each other, but really, that wasn't his true self. And so he takes his daughter to live in San Francisco in basically like an artist's commune house.
Right.
Where he shares it with these drag artists and various gay folk over the years. And so growing up in that environment. And then it takes us through into a young adulthood where he is diagnosed with AIDS and she has to look after him. Scoot McNairy gives possibly his best performance that I've seen. Between this and Task, Emilia Jones, who plays the younger version of the daughter, the older version of the daughter, she has shown great range this year through very different roles. She's really going to be something, I think, in the years to come. She has a precocious quality. She's in her early 20s, don't get me wrong, but still older than her years,
Okay.
Then again, kids these days, like they all seem older.
Yeah.
I think that's what we look and go, God, they seem older than we were then.
Yeah.
The film also features Adam Lambert in a small role. Did not know it was him. He's gone fat.
Oh, right.
And Maria Bakalova in a smaller role. I did know it was her. How appropriate Alicia's upbringing is ultimately for you to decide, but both the film and her father know it isn't entirely so.
Okay.
During their final significant conversation when he's on his last legs with AIDS, he demonstrates that awareness to her. And if that scene doesn't get some tears brewing, you've got problems, I would say. There's a heartbreaking line that will stay with me. He says, "If I was sometimes a failure as a parent, just know that these were noble failures." It won't be for 60-70% of viewers, yourself included, probably, I would say. But it's a decent film with a pair of solid performances at its heart. So that's one.
All right.
And the other is On Falling. Have you heard of this?
I don't think so.
So On Falling is a very indie British drama from another debut director, Laura Carrera, starring Joana Santos as the affecting Aurora, a Portuguese woman working in an Amazon-type warehouse in Scotland. It's stark kitchen sink realism in the manner of Ken Loach. I wouldn't be surprised if it conformed to the Dogma manifesto, be that consciously or otherwise. It's not the happiest film in the world.
Right.
It's about social isolation and moments of fleeting connection that go nowhere and barely scraping by paycheck to paycheck in a system that I think is fairly called wage slavery. Aurora has the kind of job where if you're seconds behind, your little device starts beeping ominously.
Okay.
A sound I'm sure you would hear in your nightmares if you worked in that place.
Yeah.
The kind of job where if you request a day off for an urgent doctor's appointment, the supervisors say you really should have planned in advance.
Yes. Yeah. I know those supervisors.
You know those supervisors. It's one of those films that rings so true it can be uncomfortable. I think when you see certain British types on screen portrayed with pinpoint accuracy, there can be something oddly unsettling about it. In this case, a large Scottish lassie eating chips.
All right.
Oh no, that's too real, man. There's no grandstanding over its implied criticisms, just scenes of quiet devastation. It's a very slow slice of life that won't appeal to 90% of viewers, probably yourself included.
Right, okay.
But it's a quality production and one I thought worth championing.
Okay.
Nuremberg. It's Nuremberg. Like, do I have to explain the premise?
All right.
No, I'm asking. Do I have
To fucking explain it to you?
Do I have to? I'm genuinely asking. Like,
I know what Nuremberg is.
I do. It's about the psychologist Douglas Kelly, who was sent by the Americans to determine whether the Nazi war criminals are fit to stand trial, basically.
Right.
With a special emphasis on Hermann Goering, who was like kind of the highest ranking of the ones left.
Okay.
Played by Russell Crowe.
Okay.
Yeah, well, okay. So this is written and directed by James Vanderbilt, screenwriter of Zodiac and Fountain of Youth from earlier this year. He had a genetic relationship with Fountain of Youth, right? His great-grandfather died on the Lusitania, which figured prominently into the plot of that film.
Okay.
My cursory research revealed that Vanderbilt is, through marriage and extended family, also related to Francis Biddle, who was the primary American judge at the Nuremberg trials.
Okay.
So he seems to be... The Vanderbilt, it's a dynastic family.
Yeah.
But he seems to be related to everyone in history.
So is this his... Are we going to be able to predict his filmography going forward? Because it's just going to be about his various ancestors.
Well, yeah, Lusitania is like, I think, World War One. So like maybe World War One, this is World War Two. So next, it'll be about... no, Cornelius is an actual Vanderbilt.
Okay.
It'll be about Dyson Vanderbilt, who was a prisoner of war in Vietnam. That will be his next film.
Or, what's the Vietnamese name? Ho Vanderbilt?
Nguyen.
Nguyen Vanderbilt.
Nguyen Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He kills off all of the various Americans.
Yes. The film features a rather accomplished cast. Oscar winners Russell Crowe and Rami Malek going head-to-head. Michael Shannon's in it, Richard E. Grant. Outside of Mr. Robot, Rami Malek has failed to convince me, but this is the closest he's come, probably.
Okay.
Crowe playing Hermann Goering with a German accent is not as ridiculous as you might imagine.
Okay, because it seems pretty ridiculous.
It does. It actually works.
Okay.
He's actually pretty good in it. Leo Woodall gets the most interesting part, in my opinion. A Jewish, German-born American soldier whose need for vengeance is gradually tempered across the course of the film. It's a cinematically unremarkable film. The visuals are workaday, but equally, it's coherent and comfortable. It's a film you can sink into and trust.
Okay.
It just doesn't excel. However, I grew fonder of it the more it progressed, which is seldom the case. I admit a bias insofar as the subject matter appeals to me, but it's very easy to get wrong. I was going to briefly review Devil in Disguise, which was the John Wayne Gacy miniseries.
Oh, yeah.
Purely to illustrate its difference from Ed Gein, but this makes the same point. There's a right way to go about difficult subjects. It's more nuanced than you would expect for a popcorn prestige flick, while trying to maintain a propulsive through line. It's not a work of philosophical density, right? It's not trying to do it all. It's not the magnum opus on this topic. But that's okay. Critics have been overall positive, if lukewarm. Audiences have been far more receptive. And yeah, this does feel like an audience movie for dads in that Shawshank kind of way.
Right,
you know?
okay.
Judgment at Nuremberg can't help but loom over Proceedings, a film I love from the early 60s. I think I've shown you
You've shown me key scenes from it.
And that remains the definitive disquisition on this stuff. However, it's a pretty underseen film as it goes, and it's just not feasible that young people are going to watch it. I mean, this will be a stretch, right?
Okay.
It's long, it's black and white, it's old. This film is not needed relative to it, but it's always good to keep the subject alive, right? This film will be educational for the uninitiated, and anything that deals with anti-Semitism in 2025 is welcome by me.
Okay.
It feels old school in its way, an awardsy movie from a generation ago, There are some riveting dialogue scenes. The standout for me takes place after the court has watched footage from the camps. And Kelly Malek confronts Goering, saying, he must have known about this because he maintains deniability. And Goering says, "You judge us? You vaporize thousands of Japanese." And Kelly responds, "There's a difference between us bombing war factories and civilians dying as collateral damage, and you building 1,200 human slaughterhouses designed to exterminate an entire race. And you know it!" It was, surprisingly powerful.
Okay, all right.
I was like, oh yeah, I got chills there,
Yeah.
Sorry if I blew out the audio there, but, I guess the power is baked in to an extent with this stuff, right? And I don't want to get all Israel and Palestine, but yeah, there's a difference. Palestine just doesn't have the infrastructure to do what it wants, thank God. There's fascinating discussion over the merits and legality of the trials. International law hadn't been invented at the time that the film takes place, and most still hasn't. So how do you go about something like this? Is it even the right thing to do? Where do you stop? Not new questions for us, but they will be for some. And everyone will come to their own conclusions. Personally, since you ask, I'm aware of the potential minefields it sows, but in response to something like the Holocaust and World War II, some form of dramatic consequence is required, irrespective of precedent. It was all quite unprecedented, right? And this goes beyond a visceral, poetic yearning for reprisal. Well, no, it doesn't. It is it, right?
Okay.
But it's looking at that and looking at yourself, or God, if you're into that, and going, yeah, I'm going to be upfront about it. There's the what jurisdiction and who prosecutes, who defends. Yeah, we'll figure all that out, right? Future legal scholars might stand in judgment, but so what? We do this, and then we try and build a consistent framework for dealing with future atrocities afterwards. That might be emotive and irrational, but I think there are times where the species has to come together and say, well, how rational do we need to be? Doesn't this transcend that? If you believe in a higher power, that opens a whole can of worms that blessedly I don't need to deal with. I'm content to say we're all we have. There's nothing but us weighing our actions. This is for the collective good, and we know it. If hindsight condemns us for whatever reason, so be it. Anyway, I alluded to this showing footage of the camps in the courtroom. Now, Judgment of Nuremberg exposed me to things I hadn't seen before, and it was shocking, right? It goes there. This uses some of that same heavy-going imagery. I'm sure they're using what was actually shown at the trials, right?
Well, I was going to ask, are we looking at real footage here? Or
it's real footage.
Yeah, okay.
It's real, but I'm sure they used the actual real footage that was shown at Nuremberg.
Yeah.
Because like I said, a lot of it is the same. I was less shocked here. Maybe that's because I've seen it, or maybe because they didn't use everything. But I do have to commend them for bluntly facing that square on. Audiences will not be expecting it.
Yeah.
Like a film with Rami Malek and Russell Crowe, they're not going to be ready for some of the stuff that they show in the film.
Okay.
2 nitpicks. I'm pretty sure there's a day for night scene, though
right.
I didn't see the greatest copy, but I think there is. And the courtroom climax isn't as much of a punch as you might want it to be. Obviously, what happened. I assume they adhered closely to the transcripts, but it's not exactly a few good men, right?
No, but this is not something that you want to
you don't
creative license with.
You absolutely don't, Ed Gein. But yeah, Goering's not really outsmarted, which deprives us of a certain catharsis. Thereafter echoed in his suicide by cyanide pill on the eve of his execution.
Right.
I expected this to be a middle-of-the-road affair, but while the filmmaking isn't outstanding, I liked it a lot more than I anticipated. So I would recommend it.
Okay, all right.
Okay. The Beast in Me. This is a television show. Claire Danes, Matthew Rhys. She's a writer who's had one very successful book and can't finish the second one. He moves in next door to her, big mansion. He's like a real estate guy who is infamous for having probably killed his wife.
Okay.
But nobody really knows if he did.
Okay.
But he kind of leans into it and that's what everyone thinks, fuck you.
Okay. A little bit of a smile, because wasn't real estate his cover in The Americans?
When?
Weren't they estate agents?
They were travel agents.
Travel agents.
Yes.
My mistake. Sorry.
Damn you, Jules.
Damn me.
So yeah, and he wants her to write his biography. And it sort of becomes a cat and mouse. Did he kill his wife? The FBI is involved. It's that sort of deal.
Okay.
Not created by, but run by Howard Gordon, a veteran of Homeland. Reuniting him, of course, with Claire Danes and Tim Guinea, who's in it. For a little Americans crossover with Matthew Rhys and Breaking Bad with Jonathan Banks. He plays Matthew Rhys' dad in this.
Okay.
But not really.
Oh.
It's not really a crossover. Conan O'Brien is one of the executive producers, bizarrely enough.
Right.
Though I don't really know what that means. I'm not sure anyone does.
Yeah.
You know. Nobody does intense and unhinged like Claire Danes. When you're not an American, but you have to adopt the accent for roles, I think it's harder to chameleonize. But Niall Jarvis isn't Philip Jennings by a country mile. Mike Ehrmantraut, I think, is a little harder to shake.
Yeah.
But it's not him either.
I think it's okay in Jonathan Banks' case because Mike Ehrmantraut is one of those characters where you're just going to call Jonathan Banks Mike Ehrmantraut.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a harder one to shake, you know? And he's going to look like that forever. You're not going to put a wig on Jonathan Banks at this point. So yeah. The instant acrimony between Danes' wigs, Aggie Wigs is her name, and Jarvis is novel. He's a guy that basically says and does what he wants at all times. Such enmities are typically a slow boil, even in limited series, right? Like it starts off awkward maybe, and a few faux pas, and then in this, from the off, they get their frustrations out with each other. So that was new. It has an intriguing setup, and we're unclear on where it's going for a decent amount of time. It has surprises. It's pulp. The kind of airport thriller your mum might pick up, though it isn't actually an adaptation, but it feels like it is.
Okay.
Original miniseries is seldom commissioned, but this does have star power going for it, you know. The show is very self-assured, competent, and confident top to bottom. The fact that Aggie is gay removes that Brody dynamic from the equation. I'm glad, because I didn't want that again. You know? I did think the fact that she was writing a book about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Antonin Scalia was a rather heavy-handed parallel to their relationship.
Oh, between the characters.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
The show's title, which is a Nick Lowe song, and the fact it's filmed in New Jersey, can't help but remind me of The Sopranos, because the Johnny Cash rendition of that song plays out the pilot of The Sopranos.
Right.
The Beast in Me, you know, that's The Sopranos. But I don't think anyone else will really think of that.
Right.
Ultimately and unfortunately, I have to say I got tired of it. It did drag for me, and there's no great revelation at the heart of the drama. Frankly, given its unpredictable origins, I thought it would be just a bit cleverer than it was, or out of left field. It's Coppotelli. Everything is of a high standard, but
Okay.
You know, not bad by any stretch, but not a must-see. That's that.
Okay.
Anemone. God, this really is Sam Heavy, isn't it? I apologise.
Sam Heavy Anemone.
Sam Heavy Anemone. So, this is a British drama film about Sean Bean. It's not about Sean Bean. No. He plays a character. Travels to the woods to find his brother, who's a hermit that lives in a cabin, because his son, whom Sean Bean is raising, I think is thinking of going off to the army. And Sean Bean wants to bring DDL back to convince him not to, and basically be a part of his life. Like, it's time for you to leave the woods now.
Okay.
And we kind of go into why he's there and all that sort of thing.
Right, okay.
Kind of a bit of Paris, Texas-y vibe.
Is this finally the film where Daniel Day-Lewis plays himself? Because he's a very private person that just...
who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
Stays in his home, I assume.
I would have thought so, yeah. This is written by Daniel Day-Lewis and his son Ronan, who directs it.
Okay.
This is, of course, DDL's return to the screen after 2017's Phantom Thread, and he hasn't lost the knack. A DDL film is an incredibly rare treat, especially when we didn't think we'd get another one. I think this all but confirms there will be more, because he basically said,
there will be more.
Yeah, he said, well, when I said I retired, I didn't, mean it.
Oh, great.
Basically,
okay,
so
all right.
There'll probably be more. Can you imagine how much his reputation would be sullied if he popped up in the odd comedy cameo, like making fun of himself? Do you know what I mean? Like he's an entourage or whatever.
Yeah.
He's a man that takes himself incredibly seriously, and for him, I'd want it no other way. He's a true cinematic chameleon, never phoning it in and never doing the same thing twice. There's no such thing as, he's just being Daniel Day-Lewis again in this one. There's a specialness to experiencing a performance of his. You absorb every second he's on screen. That said, if he wasn't the lead, I probably wouldn't talk about Anemone.
The only reason I know Anemone exists is because
of him.
It's Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah.
I can say that it looks very good. The cinematography is fantastic, which the trailer was able to weaponize. And while RDL demonstrates some visual flair, it's helped enormously by its budget. For context, in most respects, this occupies the same camp as something like Tyrannosaur, right?
Okay.
The scale of it, the tone, the cast size, that kind of thing. Whose budget was $250,000. That was Tyrannosaur's budget.
Okay.
The budget for this was $35 million.
Interesting.
Reportedly.
Okay.
Inflation only accounts for so much. And because it's shot much better than other films of its type, a tension is created. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, this shouldn't look as good as it does for a film in this bracket. Perhaps unsurprisingly given its authors, the screenplay is about a father and his son. It's a questionable script.
Okay.
The poetic northern dialogue not quite aligning with the characters in places, not ringing true. I kept feeling it belonged more on the stage, which is to say it felt written, with Bible quotations and monologues, all that business. And while DDL delivers those soliloquies as convincingly as you'd expect, it does give the thing the whiff of a vanity project.
Okay.
It's all a rather artsy and ponderous affair, bordering on the pretentious and sometimes breaching that border. It's moody and slow in the manner of a student or amateur film, which is supported by its soundtrack. So it plays Solitude by Black Sabbath as DDL sits alone in his cabin, right?
Okay.
Both the trailer and the film have an air of intrigue, of mystery, but ultimately it's nothing earth-shattering. It's like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought it would be. It's a small detail, but there's a Polaroid shown at one point of DDL, Sean Bean, and Samantha Morton when they were much younger. And unless I missed something, it's one of the best fake ones I've seen.
Okay.
I imagine it must be fake. It's like, no, that looks really real. Outside of that, there's unfortunately not a great deal to recommend Anemone. There is sufficient material for a short story or a short film, not feature length, and not one that's 2 hours plus at that. It simply doesn't land. It's a good-looking film with the world's greatest actor at its centre, doing the best with it that anybody could, but frankly, it's just not a good film.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And that's that for me.
Yes.
Go!
You're in my circle now.
Yes.
The Hack. Yeah, this is a ITV true crime drama about the News of the World hacking scandal.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, big deal over here. It made worldwide news, I think, but I don't know if it's a story that is stuck in the collective
Yeah, no,
memory.
it's like, if you're into your news, I think people like in America know about it.
Okay.
But it's, this is very much a British story.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the News of the World basically ceased to exist overnight because of this. Huge scandal. Involved the royal family. It involved many celebrities. I think the thing that really broke the story open for a lot of people was Millie Dowler, I think was her name.
Yes. And Hugh Grant was probably the most prominent celebrity that kind of really took the fight to the News of the World.
Yeah, Prince Harry, he's still trying to sue them, I think.
Coogan.
Yeah, a lot of people were involved in this. But yeah, basically this is kind of charting from when it's filtered through the perspective of Nick Davis, played by David Tennant, who was the journalist that broke the story. And it kind of starts with him getting a whiff that something is up, and it ends with all of the various depositions that led to the closure of the News of the World. So it covers the whole research era of the story, which is 6 years, 10 years, something like that. David Tennant is, as I said, the lead. And it definitely tries to make use of him. It's got that kind of he's not the Doctor in it or anything like that, but you can tell that they're banking on David Tennant's charisma to carry a lot of the show forward.
Sure.
Because while it has the trademark dour aesthetic of an ITV drama, they do a lot of fourth wall breaking and shattering of the verisimilitude, where David Tennant will be in a scene and then he'll just look at the camera and go, oh, this didn't play out the way that we're depicting it.
Oh, like The Big Short.
Yeah,
right.
They seem to be using it as a way of abridging certain events or to summarize the less cinematic components of the story.
Yeah. You can accuse us of this not happening like this, but we're doing it for dramatic It's that thing.
It's that kind of thing. Yeah. But they also
you only get away with that once or twice.
Yeah.
After The Big Short.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the things I get it, because obviously this was a big legal case, which in some capacity I think is still going on.
Yeah.
So, for example, they depict the Sun newspaper, but the Sun said you can't use our letterhead. So instead of the Sun, the paper says current bun.
Right.
He holds it to the camera and says, obviously they wouldn't let us use the letterhead, so this is what we've gone with. Certain characters will have their names censored, and they'll turn to the camera and go, oh, we'll call this character Beans going forward.
It's so lazy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not just using it to kind of skirt around the trickier parts that they can't depict. They seem to be using it to comedic effect as well.
If you're going to use it, that's fine. But don't use it. It just strikes me as boring and lazy. I'm just kind of going, they wouldn't find a way of kind of communicating what you want to do without literally just going, stop the show for a minute.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that. That's kind of... Breaking the fourth wall is meant to be a rarity.
Yeah. And I think maybe because they've got David Tennant, they thought they could get away with it.
Yeah, because he's charming, we like him.
Yeah, he can sell that kind of cheekiness.
Right.
But it's a cheekiness that's not indicative to the character.
Sure.
And I do think that the humour does it is kind of at odds with the show. Like, I watched it with my mother, and she was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this to be funny. This is like a serious thing.
I'm picturing that Broadchurch ITV dour aesthetic and humour in it. And yeah, they do not gel.
It does, yeah, it's an awkward mix.
Yeah.
I also don't think the humour isn't that good.
Yeah.
There's a scene very early on in the first episode where a source reaches out to David Tennant and says, oh, I've got some stuff you think you might like. So they go to meet in the hotel room. And David Tennant knocks on the door. It's not a door, I just did that on the table.
Yeah.
I'm doing what the hack does, where I'm like, I did a thing, and then I'm like, this thing isn't what you think it is, but we're doing it anyway.
Sure.
And then he turns to the camera and he says, I, Nick Davis, never told anyone who the source was, so some guesswork has gone into what we're about to show you.
Right.
And the person opens the door, and it's Harry Hill.
Right.
And David Tennant goes, no, that's ridiculous. And he closes the door. And then he opens the door again.
Why is that ridiculous, by the way?
Well, because it's Harry Hill.
Doctor...
Why would Harry Hill have anything of value to say?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he plays a dope on, like, TV Burp or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like a...
Yeah, he's a doctor.
He's an intelligent guy.
Yes.
Okay.
But he's a fool in the eyes of the nation. So
okay.
we can't have him play a character.
Yeah.
So yeah, he closes the door and goes, no, that's stupid. And he opens the door again, and it's Connie Huck.
Right.
And he goes, no, that's ridiculous. And he closes the door.
What's wrong with Connie Huck?
She presented Blue Peter. How does she have anything of value to say?
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so he opens the door, and it's Gabby Logan. And he goes, no, that's ridiculous. And he closes the door.
What's wrong with Gabby Logan? I don't get what's wrong with the any of these people.
Is she the gay? Is she gay, right?
I think she's not
gay. Okay.
You're thinking of Claire Balding.
I am thinking of Claire Balding. Yeah, I'm confusing my sport women.
Yeah, the two we probably know.
The two sport women that
they're not sport women, are they? They're
sport people talk about
journalists.
sport women. Yeah. Anyway, so he goes, yeah, that's ridiculous. And he goes, right, okay, this is the real one this time. And it opens the door, and it's Jonathan Ross. And he goes, no, that's ridiculous. And he closes the door. And he opens the door, and finally it's the actual guy.
They think.
No, this is... Well, yeah, it's not the actual guy.
Yeah, they said, we're guessing.
Yeah.
So this is our actual guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I had to write down his name, because it's a guy, like, I recognised, but I have no idea what from.
Okay.
Adrian Lester.
Yeah, the black chap.
Yes.
Yes, from Hustle.
Is that what I know him from?
He's been in a few American things.
Yeah.
Hustle's what I most associate him with.
Okay.
Yeah, the show about British show about con artists. He was the lead in it.
Yeah.
Him, Robert Vaughan, Robert Glenister.
I've no idea.
Okay.
But I recognised his face.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's a guy. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of humour that you can expect.
I imagine he was trained at RADA and he has an RP accent and he's a serious actor. So like, yeah, okay, I believe that he was like a legitimate source.
I suppose that was the thinking.
It's just dumb.
Yeah, it is dumb. There's also a moment in the final episode where they're attending the National Journalism Awards after they've broken the story about the news of the world.
Right.
Because they break the story a few times. And
it's The Guardian, isn't it?
Yeah, The Guardian. Yeah. He doesn't work for The Guardian, but he basically only...
He's a freelancer who only sells basically
to The Guardian, okay. Yeah. Because Toby Jones is...
Of course he's in it.
He plays the head of The Guardian.
Is Alex Jennings in it, do you know?
I don't know if Alex Jennings is in it. A point that I was going to make later on in my notes, I may as well make it now. It does feel like that ITV are trying to recapture the magic of Mr. Bates versus the Post Office a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, the
Guardian review of this?
Yeah.
Because they still had to review it.
Yeah.
Was, I think, this is the next Mr. Bates versus the Post Office.
Yeah. Or so they hope.
And then, but the actual review was either 2 or 3 stars. Like, even they couldn't give themselves... Like,
exactly, yeah. So that was kind of like a little passing of the torch there, where Toby Jones is like, he's in it a lot, but he's not the main character.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, Nick Davis basically only sells to The Guardian. They broke the story a few times, and most publications didn't pick it up. Mm-hmm. But then I think when the Millie Dowler stuff kicked in and when Gordon Brown got involved, and that's when it started to gain traction.
One thing I will say that makes it not the next Mr. Bates versus the Post Office, A, who watched this, like I don't know.
Yeah.
And B, the thing about Mr. Bates versus the Post Office is it was bringing a subject not many people knew about.
Exactly, yeah.
Who doesn't know about the news of the world phone hacking scandal?
Well, maybe the thinking was, with Mr. Bates versus the Post Office, like we had some legwork to do to kind of get people on board.
Yeah, and now all the work's been done for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we're coming into this, everyone knows what the news of the world is, but now they'll know the real story.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, National Journalism Awards, they've already broken the story about the news of the world, but the news of the world sweep the awards.
Of course.
Except for Publication of the Year, which I think goes to The Guardian. So, like, the spotlight kind of travels over to David Tennant.
Right.
And David Tennant is like, this triggered all of these events that I'm about to tell you about. And while he's telling us what happened in the wake of that victory, a food fight starts.
Right.
So he's getting pelted with like cream as he's telling us about all these people that like lost their jobs and all these depositions that were...
Right, okay.
This is...
I see what they're doing.
Yeah, this is kind of the tone that the show is trying to strike.
Yeah. This particular set of banking regulations is really boring. So here's Margot Robbie to explain it to you in a bathtub.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No, you can only get away with it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say this is the tone that the show is trying to strike.
Right.
I haven't told you everything.
Okay.
And this is the main reason I wanted to talk about it, because I don't know if it's coming across that I'm not like a massive fan of it.
No.
I'm not a massive fan of it.
I don't know if that ever comes across.
Yeah, I mean, like it's for me, it's just a typical ITV drama. You know, it was like the humor was a bit weird and out of place, but for the most part, it's just a run of the mill.
A stocking stuffer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But what I found interesting about it was that the David Tennant stuff that I've been telling you about is like 60% of the show.
Okay.
The other 40% focuses on Robert Carlyle, who plays a detective in the Metropolitan Police Force, running the investigation to find out who murdered Daniel Morgan.
Right.
Which is the show put forward. It's the most investigated case in the history of the Met that is yet to be solved.
How do you quantify that?
They looked into it for a while.
The longest unsolved case?
Yeah.
The most investigated. I don't know how you would...
Maybe I'm getting the wording wrong.
No, I just find that funny.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, go on.
Because they had multiple investigations and they took people to court.
For some reason, I don't know why, I think it's just like trying to make concrete something entirely abstract. It reminds me of Garth Marenghi when he says, the portals had all opened and there was evil everywhere.
Investigating all the time. Yeah. It's literally, the first episode is all about David Tennant, News the World, and you're like, right, this is the News the World David Tennant show.
Yes.
Episode 2 is entirely about Robert Carlyle and this murder investigation.
Okay.
It's set in a different time period.
Right.
It keeps the dour aesthetic, but like more so because it's in the past.
Yes.
And there's no humor.
Right, okay.
There's no fourth wall breaking.
Right.
The only dramatic like imprint or like creative imprint on the show is the show has chapters now.
Okay.
They have chapter headings throughout the episodes. That's it. It's a totally different show.
Right.
Totally different tone, totally different subject matter. Then episode 3, it's back to David Tennant.
Yes.
Then episode 4 is back to Robert Carlyle.
So, okay, how will these connect?
And then in episode 5, Robert Carlyle and David Tennant stories kind of merge. And then 6 and 7 is just about David Tennant, and Robert Carlyle is a tertiary character at best in that story.
And how do they come together? What's the murder of Daniel Morgan got to do with the News of the World hacking scandal?
I think the people that they were investigating were somehow connected to the news. I think they were involved with private investigators that worked for the News of the World.
Right.
And I think that the police they didn't use phone hacking. They bugged like houses or stuff to kind of try and they were trying to like force confessions out of them.
Right.
So like they went onto Crime Watch.
The police did it.
Yeah.
So what is the idea that both demonstrate institutional failure, is it? Or corruption?
Well, that's the thing, because like when Robert Carlyle gets involved in the David Tennant story, he's feeding him information from the Met, which does help David Tennant progress his investigations.
Okay.
But initially, yeah.
So is it a matter of trying to earn that Gandalfian like imparting of, as in like, we can't just have a character come in and be like a deep throat and just go, yeah, here's all the things to help you. Like, that's unearned. So we got to see how he arrived at that. Is that the idea?
And yet, Gordon Brown just appears in episode 6 and is just a character now.
Because I tell you what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
There's not enough here for 6 episodes.
Well, it certainly could be that. Yeah. 7, I should say.
7, okay.
6. Yeah. It was just bizarre, because it's not, like I said, it's not just that they're focusing on a different character. It's a different show, aesthetically, tonally, conductually.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's that structure that kind of made me want to bring it to your attention. It's like, what's going on there?
Problem is with stuff like this, it makes me want to watch it.
Oh, it's not worth it.
No, I won't. But it's like, okay, I got to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like I know what they were trying to do in my head. Just in terms of that second you dropped into this thing with no context and you are left in complete disarray.
Yeah.
You go, okay, what does this have to do with anything? And it's intriguing and... Yeah.
It's confusing, though, because...
Well, yeah, I would imagine.
You either think, oh, I'm watching the wrong show.
Yeah.
Or it could lead you to believe that, oh, it'll be a different thing every week.
Yes.
And then it just goes back to David Tennant, and you're like, oh no, I guess it wasn't.
And a different tonal thing as well. That's
Yeah.
like it's a different season of an anthology or episode of an anthology show.
Yeah.
What does the hack have a double meaning? Like does someone call Nick Davis a hack or something?
No.
Okay.
They're both... Yeah, one's about the news of the world.
Yeah.
And one's about a murder investigation.
Did he hack them to death?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no, he used an axe.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. I don't think that's what they were going for, because that's quite distasteful. But
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I wonder whether that's like... if it came out of that, it's like, oh, we got the hack. How can we put this word to real... How can we milk this?
Yeah.
You know? Like the Prestige or something. Like, how do we really milk everything thematically we can? Like, let's do this B-plot about an axe murderer. What? You're a genius, write it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
fuck it, we've only got 3 episodes worth of material.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've got 7 episodes for some reason.
But how do we justify this? Bring in Robert Carlyle. We know that he does that whenever he does something, it has to have some social justice angle to it. He's one of those actors.
Yeah.
Put him in it, no one's going to question it. It'll be fine.
Well, I'm questioning
You're
it.
questioning it.
All right.
Who else is in it? Can you name any of the other actors in it? I'm curious, like, kind of what... Because Tennant is just like, you hire him to do a job. That's
Yeah.
it. Toby Jones, like, British, just, he's a guy.
Yeah.
Carlyle is very much... He won't do a thing, I think, unless it has some sort of,
Yeah.
you know, value.
His wife, who was a former presenter of Crime Watch, that was friends with Jill Dando. So I don't know the name of the woman she plays, but she's played by Eva Miles.
Eve Miles.
Oh, Eve Miles,
Okay.
sorry.
No, yeah, okay. The Welsh actress.
The Welsh actress,
Right.
who's not, like, she's putting on an accent.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matches the accent of the real person she's
Okay.
playing.
She's just not Welsh.
She's just not Welsh in it, yeah.
Okay.
And, like, I think there are other people in it that are known. Like, the kind of people that, like, always show up in these
Yes.
kinds of shows.
Do you know who plays Gordon Brown?
I don't.
Okay.
But he's, like... I think he gets the rhythm and the, like, intonations of Gordon Brown correct.
Gordon Brown.
Gordon Brown?
Yeah.
Like, he talks like Gordon
It
Brown.
talks like Gordon Brown.
Yeah. When
That barely-
talks like Gordon Brown when Gordon Brown was giving a speech. Like, even when he's just in a room
barely
talking
that
to someone.
Scottish accent. It's
Yeah.
barely there. Yeah, okay.
But he doesn't quite... Like, it's enough to make you go, oh, I guess that's Gordon Brown.
Yeah, but like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The only reason that this show is stuck in my mind is because of its weird structure.
Yes.
But as you pointed out, it's a show that's kind of glazing The Guardian, that The Guardian couldn't even give a proper review, like a positive review to.
Yeah.
So I think that alone kind of says everything you need to say.
I think that fix in your mind will be dislodged within a month or two, I imagine.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm sure it will.
Yeah. So you don't recommend it then?
I guess I wouldn't. I don't really know what this adds. Like, why wouldn't... Because after they aired this, they aired a documentary about the news of the world hacking scandal, which I think was like less than an hour. So why would you watch this 7-hour drama
Yeah.
when you could just watch a documentary that's
well,
going to be more informative?
Let me take this opportunity then to recommend, because it's just not something I would have reviewed. It's 6 episodes. The American Revolution.
Okay.
It's a 6-part, all the episodes are 2 hours long. Ken Burns' comprehensive documentary of the American Revolutionary War. It's brilliant.
Okay.
He did the Civil War in the early 90s, which is considered a landmark documentary series. So yeah, check that out if you're interested.
Okay.
And you should be, because it's interesting.
Okay then.
Is that it for the hack?
That's what we got.
Okay. Relay. We both watched this.
We did.
What's the bet?
It's Batteries Ahmed.
He is in it, yes. In it.
In it. Yeah.
Because he's a rapper.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, his involvement in Four Lions is partly because he came to Chris Morris's attention
I got this rap song.
for a rap song called 9/11 Blues.
Oh, right, okay. Chris Morris was like, I
You're
like
my guy.
you. Yeah. Yeah. You inspire me to make this thing.
9/11 Blue Jam.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Riz Ahmed, he plays this guy that gets shit done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can never figured out if this was a real thing or not. The Tri-State Area
not.
Relay Service.
It's not a real thing, no.
The only reason I think that is because at the end of the film there's a gesture that Riz Ahmed makes that makes me think that was supposed to be a subtle...
Yes.
The film kind of going, oh, we should support this.
Right, yes. Yeah, no, it's not real.
Okay.
There might be versions of it,
Yeah.
but this is not real.
So the idea of the Tri-State Relay Service
Which is great.
Yeah.
I love things like this.
Yeah.
Like Dead Mail, like that kind of...
Yeah. So what you do is if you're trying to call a deaf person, you call the Tri-State Relay Service, you'll talk to someone. while they are typing what you're saying to the deaf person.
Yeah.
Then the deaf person types their response and they feed that back to you.
Yes.
They basically act as a go-between so that both people are getting both sides of the conversation.
Yes.
Great little idea.
Great idea.
Riz Ahmed, though, is not deaf.
He's not.
He's using this.
Not in this one.
Not in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah. He's using the Tri-State Relay Service to conduct some shady business. Because why?
I don't know.
Why you be like that?
Go on.
So I think the idea is that, he will kind of...
Call him Shifty. Is that what you...
No, I was saying that he was...
See,
he's a criminal in this.
That was actually a joke about the fact that his big debut is a film called Shifty. But go on.
Which no one's going to get.
Well, they are now. I just explained.
Okay.
I'm like the hack.
All right. Okay. Right, everyone, rewind the podcast back like 30 seconds so that you get that joke.
Yeah.
When Sam makes it.
All right, go on.
Yeah, he deals with blackmail, basically, right?
Yeah.
He kind of
Corporate whistleblowers.
Whistleblowers, corporate blackmail. He facilitates the deals. He makes sure people will keep their side of the bargains.
Yes.
And he uses the Tri-State Relay Service to keep his own anonymity. His own anemone.
And it's anemone to communicate with the whistleblowers.
Yes.
Yeah. So David Mackenzie directs. The films I've seen of his include Helm Foe, Starred Up, and Hell or High Water. He mixes it up every time, basically.
Okay.
They're all wildly different, down to the visual sensibility. It's like, that looks nothing like that one. Great.
Okay.
The cast does the job. It's a doing role for Riz Ahmed, like you alluded to.
Yeah.
Whose character I would advise, if you want to be inconspicuous on a plane, maybe don't go with a hardcore Muslim regalia.
Yeah, that was... yeah. That was a choice, certainly.
Yeah. The voice actor behind Wade from GTA 5 pops up. That was because that voice, if you know it.
Okay.
And we get a bit of Willa.
Will Fitzgerald, who's just like a goon in this, right?
Yeah. Well, like the second in command, sort of.
Yeah, but not a massive role for her.
She's been in a lot of things recently in small roles.
Yeah.
But okay, and she's the one that gets away. I'll say it was good to see a team of villains again.
Yeah.
And I think, we don't get those so much anymore.
Yeah.
It feels like an established world, and bolstered by that concept of using the Tri-State Relay Service.
Well, that's the thing. I would have assumed it was a real thing that they were using.
I took it for granted, yeah. In that way, it reminds me of New Life from a year or two ago. A little film that I think I briefly reviewed. But that had a similar setup. You're like, oh, it's that comic booky thing, like John Wick as well. It feels they've got this established mythology. Incidentally, the providers of said service never seem to react.
Yeah, I did think that. I guess because at one point the bad guys go to the Tri-State Relay Service and say, "Can we have a copy of the transcript?" And they're like, "We don't keep copies of.
Yeah.
We respect the privacy of the people on the call," which is great.
Yeah.
And I guess that is something that when you're devising that service, privacy and anemone, is something that you would bake into.
That's what it is. Yeah,
but. Yeah, some of the things they're saying to each other.
I like that it's a different person literally every time. I think that's real and great.
Always a different voice on the phone.
But they never there's never a bristling. Okay, I gotta say it, but I suppose it would have been distracting to an extent, right? You go, oh, is this going to become a character now that's going to intercede in some way?
Maybe, yeah.
But I don't know. There was probably a way of doing it. There's some Mr. Robot in the pan with just that world, and Michael Clayton. More so, I would say, and Jason Bourne. It's an old school thriller with a good, solid script.
It's like a non-action heavy film, right? There's plenty of doing in it.
It's a thriller. It's something like The Conversation, or like a 70s type thriller, like Michael Clayton. It's not about people getting killed so much, like one or two maybe.
Yeah.
And a good New York film as well. I was watching, thinking in these blossoming relationship stories between two. So it's Riz Ahmed and Lily James. She's the whistleblower, and they start to form a romantic bond.
A whistleblower who wants to stop whistleblowing. That's a big thing, right?
I think a lot of them he deals with are like that. They threaten to whistleblow, they go, oh fuck, okay, I'm in over my head.
Yeah.
And then he smooths it over for them to either return or to, But these blossoming stories between two, or one in this case, anonymous people. It would be something for once if it turned out the guy was old, ugly, and fat. But Lily James' interest based upon zero visual data makes more sense as the film unfolds.
Yes.
Right? There's a solid twist that I did not see coming until a few minutes beforehand, so fair play to them.
I might have guessed it even later than you.
Which is great, right? That's about it, really. It's not a film that demands much commentary other than to recommend it.
Yeah.
Watch it. It's a good little
No,
film.
yeah, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it kind of, it doesn't hide what it is. I think you'll know very quickly if it's for you or not.
It's a curious film for Azam. I'm glad he did it. But it's a curious film for him to do where it is just like in that Robert Carlyle way again, there's no like social point to it.
Yeah.
It's just a thriller. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
One where, again, plenty of things for him to do.
Yes.
But not much for him to say.
No.
He's not very vocal in this.
It's a doing role. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, watch it.
Yeah.
Black Phone 2. What's this one about?
You know Black Phone 1?
Yeah.
This is the second one.
Okay. What happened in the first one?
So... the first one's kind of interesting, right? Because it's basically just like a serial killer movie. It's about this guy that like abducts and kills kids.
Yeah, a child abductor.
But there's a supernatural component to it that's not really connected to the serial killer component of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, they don't. It's not like one exists because of the other. They just happen to exist in the same space.
Yes.
This film doesn't do that.
Builds upon that.
It builds upon
Yeah.
that. The supernatural component has kind of absorbed that serial killer component of it now.
Yes.
So the kids are a little bit more grown up this time. The daughter is having nightmares that she can't quite explain, but it's related to, I think she has some sort of like sight or some sort of ability.
Yeah.
She's kind of connected to the
Second sight,
Yeah.
medium, clairvoyant, all that kind
yeah, and so that's starting to trigger at the moment, and she's not entirely sure why. At the same time, the brother who was kidnapped in the first film, he is seeing visions of the grabber again, who of course was played by
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. And then what they end up doing is they go to a summer camp because she's having visions of their mother, who used to be at that camp. So they're like, we got to go there and figure out what this is all about.
Yes.
So they go to the camp during a blizzard. They get snowed in. No one else is there apart from like a couple of people who work there. The camp is closed. And while they're there, everything that they're seeing is being amplified.
Shit goes down.
Shit goes down. Yeah.
Yeah, the first film was small. It was a kid in a basement, basically.
Yeah.
This feels smaller. Not literally. It's more expansive in every way.
Yes.
But the press around it. Who's talking about Black Phone 2?
Well, it's a curious little, because we can call it a franchise now, right? Because there's two of them. It's a curious little franchise.
It is.
Have you seen the Fanta cans in the shops at the moment where they've got like horror icons?
No.
Yeah. They've released like Fanta cans.
I've seen, maybe we saw a trailer in the cinema that, was it for Fanta? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They got Five Nights at Freddy's, which fair enough. You got like Freddy Fazbear on the Fanta can. You got Chucky, understandable. Yes. Everyone knows what a Chucky is. You got Megan, who's kind of a recent viral thing, so I understand why Megan's on there. And I think the other one is the Grabber.
Yeah.
And that felt, for me, that was like, oh, you couldn't think of another, what a weird one to choose.
I mean, it's an indie franchise, right? That's what it feels like.
It's got an iconic mask, but other than that...
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's an iconic mask. You could go easily do it for Halloween, you know?
Yeah, it felt like this feels way too small to be represented alongside
you know,
even
absolutely.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, like I've heard, other than Red Letter Media, nothing has popped up about this. Anyway, so yeah, there's some shining in there, right? Not just a communing with some other plane, but a small group snowed in. Snow is good.
Yeah.
Snow good.
But it is good.
But it is good. That's the irony, right?
Yeah.
The hack. And there's a dose of nightmare on Elm Street too. The Grabber here occupying the Freddy Krueger role. He kills you in your dreams, right?
Yeah.
And there's some old school nightmare-like moments where characters begin hovering and spinning around in their sleep. Slashings manifesting, right?
Yeah.
It ticks a lot of boxes for me. A frosty atmosphere. Snow. The texture of that period, because it's a 70s set movie. Fuzzy audio, grainy footage, wood paneling. I think its core strength is that it takes the consequences of the first film seriously.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It deals with its lasting trauma. The Grabber is dead, and it's not like the psychic, otherworldly elements haven't been established. This just leans further into
Yeah, it seems to marry all of the constituent components from the first one quite well, I think.
Yeah.
The fact that, like, the Grabber has that whole conversation with the girl, doesn't he, about, like... Well, firstly, just that idea that hell isn't hot, it's cold.
It's cold.
And that's why everything is kind of icy, and I think that's great, just as, like, a...
Yeah.
Just as, like, an idea. Yeah, hell is freezing. But
I'd
also,
rather go there then.
But also this idea that in hell, everything except your sin is stripped from you.
Yes.
And he was such a sinful being... that sin has now taken on a strength.
He's endowed with...
which has allowed him to kind of manifest somewhat back in the real world,
Yes.
or at least in the dreams.
Yes.
That's a great little idea. It's kind of like it's nice, like poetic logic, isn't it? Because it can't be explained rationally, but when explained in that monologue, I just kind of accepted it for what it was. I don't know if you felt the same.
No, yeah, 100%. Poetic logic is sometimes in Doctor Who, for example, you go, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
That doesn't. In this, okay.
Yeah.
There's a difference between, I think, sci-fi and the supernatural, for one thing. That with the supernatural, poetic logic can sort of become realized.
Yeah.
Poetic logic can become concrete. Whereas with sci-fi, that doesn't work in quite the same way. Even though, like, antimatter, like, things can exist and not exist at the same time.
Yeah.
But anyway, the first one reminded me of Stephen King, right? Aptly, because it's based on a short story by his son.
Yes.
Joe Hill. And, like, how a book might be about a burial ground that reanimates the dead, or vampires in a small town, or the aftermath of a virus in America. But there are also prophetic dreams, or telepathy, because there are. Right, like you said, these are unconnected things. And you could argue that they're mixed metaphors, so to speak, or untethered, but when it works, it works.
Yeah.
In Lost, for instance, most everything ends up having some grounded explanation, but there are ghosts too.
Yeah.
That's just something you have to accept as part of that world. And there's an afterlife. This is a film that unambiguously believes in evil. There is a heaven, there is a hell, right? It's an explicitly Christian film, actually.
Yeah.
There's one character that's a bit of a goofy fundamentalist type, but that's not in the service of contempt. That's to show the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Ghosts, spirits wandering the earth, that's a bit of a 50-50 across Christianity. Sometimes it's heretical, But yeah, it takes the character's faith seriously. In the climactic showdown, the protagonist quotes scripture at the villain. It becomes an actual theological battle.
Yeah.
Right? That protagonist is played by Madeleine McGraw, older sister of Little Nell from...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know it till I looked it up.
All right.
The other is played by Mason Thames. And there have been all these memes, I don't know if you've seen them, about the fact that he's the first person since Jim Carrey to be in 3 #1 movies in the same year.
Oh, okay.
With most people responding, who? Drawing some ire from his fangirls.
Yeah, I had to look him up because I was like, I know this kid, but I don't.
Yeah, how to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon is but what I most recently know him from, yeah.
But, like, yeah, that's legitimate, right? It just illustrates the fracturing of culture.
Yeah.
My father probably, is never going to learn an actor's name ever again.
Yeah.
It's admirable that Ethan Hawke, a serious, acclaimed, Oscar-nominated actor, not just does horror films, but here in a rather humbling role.
I wasn't even convinced it was him.
Right, but it is.
But that's the thing, because it's so... At the very least, I thought, maybe they got him to do the voice work, but not the actual guy.
Right.
Because, you never really see his face.
No, I'm not saying, despite the poster being his character's mask and just his name, he's really barely in it.
Yeah.
Right? And when he is, not the face, it's 80% voice work. I love Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
I just love Ethan Hawke. We will return to him.
Okay.
And it turns out that the grabber killed their mother, right? And unlike something like Jaws, where Bruce seems to have an arbitrary appetite for the Brody family, maybe it's like uniquely tasty or something, it makes total sense. It's a neat, tight little lore. The monster is a child murderer, and the film doesn't shy away from child murder. It's anti-drug in its way. It doesn't castigate stoners, but Thames, whose character smokes near constantly, isn't characterized as cool because of it, but as a loser trying to bury his pain in an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
Right? There's this lovely strand of their father having been on the wagon for 3 years, trying to atone for his former treatment of his kids, and he stays on it.
Yeah.
There's
a lovely moment in the film where, because they kind of set up, as the kids are leaving, they leave the father at home.
Yeah.
And they're kind of setting up this idea that, like...
He's probably going to drink again.
Please don't drink when we're away. And he's like, dude, I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
I promise you. Being sober, not drinking, I should say. Dude, as soon as you're gone.
I'm cranking out the vodka.
Yeah. And he sees a commercial for whiskey or some form of alcohol.
Right.
And I think what most people would think is like, oh, this is going to make him want to have a drink.
Right.
But that's actually how he learns. That actually inspires him to go get his kids.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you think it's going to serve one purpose, it actually serves another. And it's like, oh, that's very neat, actually.
It's so nice because it's just occurred to me now, it's another Stephen King crossover. He does a lot of alcoholic fathers, like most notably The Shining.
Yeah.
And that was based on him being an alcoholic, basically, and never mistreating his kids, but always worrying that he would, or like accidentally hit them or something like that. And, there's a lot of it. There's always an alcoholic dad somewhere in the picture. So it is really nice that this one is changing.
Yeah.
You know, how easy it would be for him to backtrack.
Changing, but like they really calibrated it correctly because he's not forgiven straight away.
No, they're like, you know, he can't escape his past. They're like, he's gonna fucking drink. He's a low life.
But they are also giving him a chance,
which
is nice. It's not like, oh, you're forever evil, or oh, now you're so virtuous because you've decided to change.
He just keeps trying his best.
Yeah.
And there's an even lovelier ending that could feasibly strike some as mawkish, but given the laws, the mythology, if you like, that the franchise has established, it's a natural conclusion. It's not a perfect film, by far. It's not scary, really. Like, I didn't think it needed to be for me.
Yeah, that's kind of not why I watched it.
No, it's like Flanagan.
Yeah.
But when I consider its problems, there's really only one nitpick. There's a CG backdrop that isn't entirely convincing.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Yeah. Because so much of the rest of the film is tangible enough for me. Especially since they use that. Is this Super 8 they use for the
those dreams? I really like that.
Yeah, because it's a great excuse to, because that kind of graininess is like endemic to horror, isn't it? So they found a really good excuse for using it stylistically in the story, but also there was just something about, because that wasn't in the first one, was it?
Not that I remember.
No, and I remember little of the first one, but I remember that being a bit more like jump scary and kind of traditional horror.
Yeah.
Especially considering this is a Blumhouse franchise. It felt very typical of Blumhouse.
Yeah.
Whereas this one felt so much more mature. Not in its not necessarily in terms of its story, which you've covered, like its stance on religion and everything. Yeah. But just in its conduct.
I know what you mean.
Like the fact that they just used a different camera for the dream sequences, but then the rest of the film is kind of very stylistically locked down.
Yes.
And well behaved. That kind of demonstrated a maturity in the filmmaking.
And it makes it effective as well.
Yeah.
Like when she goes into those things. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't often scared. But there was trepidation, like, oh no.
Yeah.
You know, like we've entered that realm now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. But I did like that little contained geography, the cabins, the payphones, the lake. I like things like that where we know exactly where everything is in relation to each other. Maybe I was just in a good mood when I saw it or something, but I actually really liked it.
Yeah, enough. It's kind of joined the rank of films, or that little group of films where, and TV shows as well, where I go, oh, did I not give the first one its due?
Right. Yeah, no.
And absolutely. You know that a film is doing its job when you're considering reappraising the films that came before it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shelby Oaks. What's it about? You know what? I think I can do it this time, actually.
Okay.
Right. A woman's sister has gone missing.
Yeah.
She sets out to find her.
Yeah.
She does.
That is indeed what happens.
That's what happens. And then a little coda.
Yeah. It kind of doesn't matter what it's about, because for most people, they're not watching it because of what it's about.
No.
They're watching it because of who made it.
That's right.
And to be honest, that's kind of the reason I wanted to watch it as well.
Right.
Chris Stuckman is a YouTube film critic. He was kind of there in the early days of YouTube. 2009, I think he started.
Yeah, so like 2 years in.
Yeah, 2 years in. And yeah, he was a film critic on YouTube for years. And then at some point, I don't quite remember when, but he made an announcement to the world that he was going to still be a critic, but he was no longer going to do negative reviews.
Sure.
He was no longer going to be negative in his critiques, because films are miracles. Why would we say bad things about them? And also, it's just kind of rude to be nasty.
Films are miracles.
Yeah.
And in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important to trash a bad film.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's rare that someone sets out to make a bad film.
Yeah.
Negative reviews are a tragedy for people.
Yeah.
But you have to take out a mortgage to go see a film these days. So yeah, actually, there is some value in telling people maybe this isn't worth your money, your hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Well, yeah, so I just thought, okay, so, I mean, he's still going to see things.
Yeah.
And he's still presumably having negative thoughts about films, but he's just keeping them to himself this time. What kind of impact has this had on him now that he's on the other side of the exchange, as it were?
Did he issue this proclamation when pre-production was starting on Shelby Oaks?
I don't know when, and I don't know what it would like in relation to the production of this, because I think this was like it's a continuation of a project that he's had on the go for a while. I think like
it's an online AR series.
An online AR series, yeah. I mean, yeah, in reality, the reason that he didn't want to be negative in his reviews is because he didn't want to scupper his chances of getting a film made.
This is what I'm saying. Like, is it like you decided, I want to make a film now, and therefore, I'm not going to... Because I'll say, we've trashed quite a lot.
We certainly
we've
have.
praised quite a lot. Next year, we're going to try writing a movie that we want to get made.
Yeah.
If we ever come back to reviewing films, I promise you, we won't be shutting our mouths. We'll be honest.
I think, like, as a critic, the only thing you owe anyone is your honesty.
Absolutely.
Right? And sometimes that can be great because you watch something and you're like, holy shit, I can't say anything but good things about this. Like The Pit. I was so effusive in our praise for The Pit and for Severance and for the rehearsal. So many things we've seen this year. But then they make things like
Shelby Oaks.
Shelby Oaks. Yeah, all right. So we're not being subtle about it.
No. Listen, I didn't know any of this background stuff, and I wouldn't have known until watching the film and then Wikipediaing it for a bit of context.
Yeah.
But you told me about it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, that stuff does not matter to me. However, it does seem to be a thing now where, like, people are going to watch it because it's nice for him that he made a movie.
Yeah.
Right? That's...
I guess it's also something people want to support more of.
Right.
It's like somehow...
Like, don't worry about how good it is.
Yeah, the thinking is that, like, oh, the little guy made a film.
Right.
I'm a little guy, I want to make a film too, so let's support this so more little guys get to make more films.
All for that, but if I made a film and my family and friends couldn't be asked, I would be offended and hurt. Outside of that,
okay,
I kind of got to earn people coming to watch it and liking it, right? So roughly a third of this is found footage, shockumentary, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
A subgenre on life support. It's executed impurely here, but that wouldn't matter at all to me if everything else was good, you know? It wasn't. Blair Witch is the obvious grandmother, I would say, but there are also things like Lonely Girl 15 in the mix, like that, a very early, an AR series.
Yeah.
I don't know if Stuckman's conscious of those influences. Much of it had the feeling of modern horror gaming too, and like Silent Hill. But that,
Shelby Oaks is basically Silent Hill.
Same thing, yeah. But that itself is drawing inspiration from cinema, right? The apogee of all this stuff for me is Lake Mungo.
Okay.
The less said about which the better. Just go find it and watch it, okay? Right. It's trafficking in analog horror, a style that, when done well, is right up my alley. Unfortunately, it's also a YouTube-y thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Needless to say, this doesn't do it well. Most horror films have something creepy somewhere. Not this.
Yeah.
So the opening scene, it's like, oh, that could be something.
Okay.
Like, it's this locked shot of a girl in a cabin as there are noises outside, and there's a window next to her that you are waiting for something to pop up in. Now, I don't know if that was the point of that composition.
Yeah.
But if it was...
I think almost certainly, because when they scroll over the footage later, they'd see that someone is looking through the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was like, all right, if this is the start,
yeah,
then that's it.
Okay.
Right? It peddles and jump scares, and I'll grant it has attention, but only in waiting for the next jump. There's nothing remotely lastingly scary. It's just vague demon black magic nonsense, and the film evaporated as soon as it finished. It's poorly written. It's not engaging enough to distract you from the fact that nobody in the world would still be filming. It's short, yet still boring.
Yeah.
It's true that a good film critic, I don't even know if he was or is, does not necessarily a good filmmaker make, but you'd at least think he'd be shooting for originality. If you're going to fail, do it because of ambition, because you overshot. Not this.
Yeah, I came out of this thinking I could see someone making a decent pro-AI argument with this film.
Right.
Because what's the big criticism of AI? AI cannot... It is not a creative force.
No.
It cannot be creative because it has no original ideas of its own. It just scrapes data and produces something approximating the data it's absorbed.
So do we.
But
it tastes different.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The data can only use bits and pieces. It's like in the same way that the human brain cannot invent a face.
Yeah.
It can only imagine a compilation of faces it's already seen.
Yes.
Whereas with a human can produce something like the rehearsal. Like, we were both watching the rehearsal going, I don't know what this is. I've never seen something like this before.
It also, not this relevant to this, but AI can't be funny.
Yeah.
Even if it told a joke, whatever, that you would laugh at if a comedian told it,
yeah,
the fact it's AI means it's not funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it lacks that instinct. Because you can...
And it doesn't have a heart and a brain.
And
you know this.
It lacks all of the things
intuitive,
you need.
man. It's just anyway.
But that's the thing, yeah. It's like, well, a human can make something original, whereas AI will just give you a version of all the things it's absorbed.
Yes.
I can see someone going, but that's what Shelby Oaks is.
Right.
It's clearly just he's just made a film that approximates the films he's seen before.
Yeah, which again is what we all do.
Yeah.
But it's like everything I've seen plus this splash that makes it mine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with having influences, like try and avoid it, you know? But this is so nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
And
It is. This girl's sister has gone missing.
Yeah.
She combs through footage of paranormal, whatever the fuck awful thing it is. Supernormal. That's what it should have been called.
Yeah, supernormal. I don't think that YouTubers would garner that kind of press attention.
No, unless they were like PewDiePie or Mr. Beast or something.
Maybe, but like it would just be like a handful of teenagers have gone missing, not YouTubers paranoid paranormals have gone missing.
Again, unless they were like really, really famous.
Yeah.
But she watches the footage and then's like, oh, okay, I need to go to Shelby Oaks to find her. It's just like wandering about for a bit and like she's in a forest and there's maybe a sound of, there's a twig snaps underfoot and she looks over there and there's nothing there. And then that happens again. And then she finds the cabin.
Yeah.
And there's an old woman there who's meant to be a psycho biddy, who is just an old woman.
Yeah.
Native American woman. And her sister's there.
Yeah.
And they go home. And then they die. Well, the sister dies.
Yes.
Am I being unfair? Am I missing anything there?
Well, there's a baby, right?
Yes, there's a baby. The sister has a baby. And then the main character gets possessed.
No, I think the baby gets...
Okay.
I think a demon... They conduct a ceremony to like put a demon in the baby.
Yeah.
And the sister goes to kill the baby, but then she dies.
Yes.
And I think at the end, the revelation is that, the demon wanted the main character instead of the sister all along.
She has like black eyes at the end, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely a thing of like, she's been taken over by something.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, that's everything that happens.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm not pro AI, just so we make that clear.
No.
I'm just like, I guess like that when I was kind of making the point, it's like, it kind of makes it hard to defend human creativity if this is what human creativity gives you.
I know it makes it harder, but I'll take this over any AI film.
No, I absolutely will. I just like, this was your chance, Chris Stuckman.
Yeah, prove yourself.
Yeah, you still need to prove yourself in my eyes.
But he's, not to throw stones here. He is a self-elected film critic. He hasn't been hired by a publication to be a film critic.
He's got voting rights at the Academy, I think. He's part of the Critics' Choice, like the Critics...
The Critics' Choice Awards, yeah.
What is it called? The Critics Association of blah, blah, something?
Well, Television Critics Association. Which one?
He's part of some... He's, like, officially recognised as
he's
a
part
critic.
of, like, their SAG.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, that's because he's got a following.
Yeah.
But no one hired him to, like, write for a newspaper.
No.
Right? Or that's why I do get it. Like, Kermode was always dead against us, frankly.
Yeah.
And Howard Stern is still to this day against podcasts.
Yeah.
And I understand why. He's like, I had to fucking get like a two-share or whatever in Philly. And then I had to go to Detroit and like I had to work the overnight. And now people are just doing it. Like they just buy the equipment and do it. It would be annoying. It is. I maintain that if we had been trying to make things in the 90s or I'd been in a band in the 90s, I would have had a lot better chance. Because this is something... The democratization of all this technology means that just everyone's trying their hand at it. And now with fucking AI, go talk about trying to find a writer. No one's going to be doing that anymore.
No.
So it's all just entirely bleak.
Well, my boss, he's going to like a convention like in the new year where gamification of pest control is the big theme.
Right.
So he messaged me and was like, I want to make like a game.
Gamification of pest control.
Yeah, I don't really understand. It's just words, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he's like, I want to create a game that we can like display on the show floor, like on our stall.
Okay.
Is that something you have any experience in by any chance? And I was like, well, no. But I know people that are kind of involved in that. So I kind of named people. And he was like, oh, no, it's okay. I've got this AI program. And then 20 minutes later, he just gave me a game and was like, here, I made this.
Right, we'll talk about this off air because...
Yeah, maybe I won't keep it.
No, you can keep... That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
It's just going to the specificities of... There's stuff to talk about with you and me here, but okay.
But it's, scary shit, AI, you know?
It is terrifying.
Because it's not ready. It's like genuinely not ready.
Well, who wants it?
Nobody wants it.
Other than the studios like, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
No one wants it.
No.
Do you ever hear anyone pro AI? Like, there's AI I saw recently that...
Well, we've spoken to people that are pro AI.
Yeah, I know that,
but
like,
crucially, they are not in creative industries.
No, exactly. I'm pro AI in certain spheres.
Yeah.
I saw something recently where it was, there's now an AI that can detect breast cancer up to 5 years before it happens. Like, yeah, all for that. Don't write films.
Have you heard... what was the name of the guy? I think it was like Crafton. It's like a video game publisher.
Okay.
They're making this video game, but the people that were working at the development company, they were due to get bonuses upwards of like 250 million, I think,
right,
for meeting their targets and everything, and they were fired.
Okay.
From the company. Like the publisher, I think Crafton was the publisher. They were like, oh, they didn't have the game's best interest at heart, and they weren't meeting their targets. We are totally justified in removing them from the company.
Right.
But they claim, the people that were fired claim that no, they got rid of us so they didn't have to pay the bonuses.
Sure.
Evidence has now come out that Crafton were asking ChatGPT, how can we not pay the bonuses?
Okay.
And ChatGPT was like, well, you kind of have to pay the bonuses.
Right.
But then I think from ChatGPT, they got the idea to fire them for all of these bullshit claims.
Right.
And when asked to produce that data, they were like, oh, we don't have access to that data.
Right.
But people, you got these CEOs of these companies that are asking AI, how do I fire people?
Yeah.
And how do I not pay people?
No, I it's that stuff that makes me I always kind of did. I get the Amish.
Yeah.
And if it's but AI can do some good thing. Listen, I just don't have the brain space to be to think about all that stuff as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to. And so I have to be a fundamentalist purist about it, which is AI or no AI, and I'm going for the latter. Just keep it all away from me.
Yeah.
If I'm with someone I'm just going to... No, okay, you could do that, but don't even tell me what the answer... I don't want to know. So, I remember when we were complaining about, in pubs, men could argue for hours over a fact.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't Google it. You destroyed 90% of male conversation with Google. And now we got AI. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Shelby Oaks shit, don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it.
The Lowdown. What's this about?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke is back.
He's back.
Hawke is back.
Ethan Hawke's back as a guy.
A guy.
That really needs to get his shit together,
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
What's the name of the character?
Lee Raybon.
Lee Raybon. And he is just a guy. He owns an antique bookstore.
Yeah.
In this small... Where is it set?
Set in Tulsa.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Small town Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It's a city, but yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like a city, does it? It feels like small town.
Yes. It's where Watchmen was set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got antique bookstores next to record shops, next to legal stores.
I don't know what Tulsa's like, obviously, but it has an Austin-y feel,
Yeah, and they got bridges over rivers that you can dump bodies into, that kind of shit.
Yes.
Yeah, he is a truth historian, as he puts it. He's a journalist that is seeking out the truth. Mm-hmm. A guy, apparently kills himself in his house. And that guy's brother is running for mayor. Is it mayor or governor?
I think, I don't know.
Let's say mayor.
Yeah.
That feels more the level the show's operating at.
Yeah.
But he's convinced that the guy that running for mayor is involved in his brother's death somehow, that it wasn't suicide, it was in fact a murder. And so he is fervently pursuing the truth. And it's getting him into all sorts of scrapes.
Yes. So this comes to us from Sterling Harjo, who he created Reservation Dogs. I don't know if you ever watched that.
I know of it, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, which is also set in Oklahoma. He's a member of the Seminole Nation, right? So both Res Dogs and this feature Native Americans in quite a significant capacity. We are gifted with another brilliant performance from Ethan Hawke, fully occupied from the first frame he's on screen.
Yeah.
His Lebon is a gonzo, like you said, truth historian, a mixture of Hunter S. Thompson, Charles Bukowski, and The Dude. A curious, washed-up lefty living from one moment to the next who gets kidnapped a lot.
He has a Confederate flag tattooed on him, ironically.
He's that kind of guy.
He's that kind of guy, yeah.
I've heard the show described as Lynchian. It's not.
No.
While it does feel like it exists in a kind of fog or a dream, it's more Pinchonian, I would say, or Chandlerian. It's the kind of artisanal TV that rarely gets made. My go-to for this is always John from Cincinnati. How did that get commissioned?
Okay.
It's idiosyncratic, not easy to classify, with a chaotic energy and a fully fleshed out world. The dialogue is fun, and there's plenty of funny in the mix. A lot of farce, actually.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's this cocktail of Shaggy Dog, amateur sleuths, surf noir, My term for it is Tulsa Noir. That's what this is.
Okay.
Tulsa Noir. It's rare to hear cracker deployed sincerely these days. If anyone's mouth, it was going to come out of Keith David's.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage was a surprise.
Yeah, but he's everywhere all of a sudden.
He is, yeah.
Isn't he?
But his character describes his shit as treacherous, and that's poetry. Oh, I just took a shit, man. Don't go in there. It's treacherous. Tom McCarthy shows up in a bit role, and in the same episode as Dinklage, giving us a little station agent reunion. Macon Blair was a perennial amusement. He's the guy that works a couple of doors, his lawyer, you know.
Yeah.
Tim Blake Nelson lends his peculiar aura to proceedings. He plays the author who purportedly kills himself.
Yes.
And the supporting cast is populated with colourful, memorable characters. It even manages to be exciting in the final episodes.
Yeah.
I was less invested in the plot than I was in simply experiencing its world.
Yeah.
So it was very handy to have the whole thing laid out in the finale. You know, where Ethan Hawke just explains exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I did actually need that.
Yeah.
This could be it, right? It hasn't been renewed yet, but it needn't be. Because they really created something with Hawke's Raybon.
There's a moment where, at the end of the show, he's walking home.
Yeah, that's how the season ends.
Yeah, he walks home, and it's a slow motion shot of him just kind of appearing over the horizon.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you had the same thought that I did, where I was like, oh yeah, this is a character now.
I had, as soon as his car breaks down, he gets out to walk, and I'm like, oh, that's how the season's going to end. Like, yeah, it really makes you reflect on like how quickly he made an impression.
Yeah, that character belongs to the canon of TV now.
Yeah, like they really made a guy out of that guy.
Yeah.
Really quickly. It's very good. Like, I don't really know what else to say about it without giving it. You know, it's all over the place, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah, I mean, we could explain the mechanics of what's happening.
I don't think we need to.
But it's more how they play out. That's kind of,
it's got Skeleton Crew Girl
as his daughter,
who's very good.
Yeah.
It's all very good. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's going to show up at the awards next year.
Yeah, whenever Tim Blake Nelson, because one of the
Tim Blake Nelson is a good signifier for what the show is.
which is why I wanted to bring him up. Yeah. One of the mechanisms in which he gets to the truth is that Tim Blake Nelson has written letters outlining like what's happening.
Yeah, a diary thing.
Yeah, like a diary, and like how he's feeling and what he thinks is going on and everything like that. And when Ethan Hawke or any character is reading those letters, Tim Blake Nelson will appear in the scene
doing his Tim Blake Nelson voice.
Yeah, and he'll be reading them like to the audience.
Just occurs to me that he was also on Watchmen, right?
Oh, yeah.
He just has that mercurial, like, what is that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's nice as well is the characters will actually look at him. They'll acknowledge that he's in the world with them.
Yeah.
Even though in reality he's not there and they're just reading a letter.
It's because he plays, he sets the whole plot off. And I thought it's feasible that in the first episode, that could be it. Like, I can see getting Blake Nelson to play that role, and then but I'm very happy that they found a way to keep him around. Kyle MacLachlan, he's another one. Casting Tim Blake Nelson and Kyle MacLachlan is a way of telling your audience this is kind of what you're in for.
Yes.
And that is what you're in for. And it's good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Felt very positively about it.
That's all I got to say about it.
Yep.
Okay. The Smashing Machine. Or the Smashing Machine. Which
What's the difference?
Well, one is a machine that smashes, and one is a machine that is smashing.
Oh, right. I like that
That's
one.
a smashing machine.
Smashing machine, Gromit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's it about?
The Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne Johnson.
That's
his career, right? He was The Rock, then he was Dwayne, and now he's Dwayne Johnson.
He'll go back.
You think?
He'll be The Rock again, yeah.
Okay. What, after this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He plays... Is it Mark Kerr?
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the character he plays. He was kind of one of the people that kind of brought the like mixed martial arts, MMA, kind of brought that to the public attention.
Yes.
Before there was the UFC, there were these guys. And yeah, it's just kind of like about him and his relationship with Emily Blunt, which is not healthy for either of them, frankly.
It's not.
And yeah, him, like, his drive to be the best and to remain undefeated.
His addiction.
And his addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's addicted to multiple things.
Yes. This is a film for Dwayne Johnson, right?
Yeah.
And he's good enough, not Oscar caliber, as was earlily predicted.
Yeah.
But it's a good initial foray into more serious acting.
I was... I won't use his name, but I'll quote a guy that I spoke to about this, because he saw it before me, and he said that, like, you could feel Dwayne Johnson's acting in it. And he highlighted there's a couple of moments in the film where Dwayne Johnson cries, and he always covers his face when he cries.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll kind of want to return to that because I know what Jethro is saying.
Okay.
It is Jethro, right?
Sure.
Okay. But yeah, physically, he always brought it, right? Outside of that, it doesn't demand a great deal from him. It's not transformative in the way that voters like, although the face is a curiosity. Like, I would need a side-by-side,
Yeah.
right? Because it's obviously not Dwayne Johnson, but it's not anyone else.
It certainly doesn't help later on in the film when he shaves his head.
No, it's uncanny, and I was happy when he did, because that hair is awful.
Yeah.
But it just deepened that valley, because it's clearly the head and the body of Dwayne Johnson, but a different face.
Yeah.
Yet how different it is, I don't know somehow.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
It's like you're seeing it not in HD. You have
Yeah. Someone's slightly, like, the clay, they've slightly muddied the clay.
Yeah.
Like, okay. There are scenes where he's in full nice guy mode, and it's unclear whether that was a conscious approach or just the irrepressible Johnson shining through, right? Because, I think that alludes to what Jethro was talking about, which, like, his mode of speech, it's hard to detect whether it's just off from an acting perspective or the character has a slight insincerity.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a creative choice, because there are moments where it feels like it's trying to pay that off. For example, there's a scene where he's in the hospital talking to his trainer, prattling on in his fashion.
Yeah.
And the trainer says, just stop it. And he breaks down crying, which I thought was quite strong.
The Rock, not the trainer.
Yeah. Which I thought,
just stop.
Stop. Yeah. And he does cover his face, but I thought that was quite effective, actually. Because he has just been in, like, bullshit mode for a lot of the film.
Yeah.
But all told, for me, that component was a problem. Because I wasn't convinced by it, there's that lingering ambiguity of, I don't know whether you were doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one. The scenes where he's arguing with Emily Blunt, a particularly hot Emily Blunt, I'll add, demonstrate the disparity between them. He's just not up to it, either yet or full stop.
What was different about Emily Blunt in this? Why in this? Because we both had the same thought, clearly.
Yes.
But why?
Well, they've hauled her up a bit, haven't they?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. She's kind of, she's got the tits out a bit, and they've tanned her up and all that kind of
thing. All right. I didn't think I went for that sort of thing. But clearly I do.
It's not overly. It's not like tan Emily Blunt. It's just they made her up a little bit. Okay. She tends to play roles that don't do that. I'm not complaining.
No.
The film has that handheld Safdie style and those wides, but it lacks the dynamism.
Yeah, I think that their mode of filmmaking, which Benny has borrowed for this.
It's hard to judge it, right?
Yeah.
Because we talked about this with the Coens, like, after their parting, Joel made Tragedy of Macbeth, Ethan has made these lesbian B movies.
Yeah.
So the obvious things to go, okay, so now we can maybe work out who brought what to the table.
Yeah.
And, we got Marty Supreme coming up, which is Josh, but I don't know yet. So, like, do we say, oh, he's borrowed it, or do we say, well, no, that was him?
Yeah.
Like,
For now, I'll say he borrowed
it.
But if you compare those two, the big two examples are Good Time and
Uncut
Gems, aren't they? I know you said they made films prior to that.
Those are the two films.
But those are the two Safdie films. Those are the ones that probably got Benny Safdie the job as Bowser Jr.
Right.
Sure. Super Mario Galaxy film.
Exactly, yeah.
And got him like on the bill with Nolan and everything.
Yes. And got them films directing two of the biggest stars in the world.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is with Good Time, less so Uncut Gems, but certainly Good Time, those films are panic attacks.
Yes.
So that kind of camera work is really effective because it feels so claustrophobic and unrelenting and kinetic. Like even when characters are sitting down, the camera is still moving.
Yeah, it's coked up.
Oh, fuck. Just slow down, please.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, where it's a relatively...
But you'd think it could be for an MMA fight, and like, that should...
It's not really. Like,
no, but it's not.
It's mainly like a sit-down talking film. Like, there are some MMA fights, but...
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's more character work, which... doesn't match the energy.
Also, you got to go against intuition. I mean, like, I'm thinking of the great fight movies. They're not like that.
No.
Rocky, Raging Bull, Warrior, they don't do that.
No.
You know?
Yeah. And maybe there's something to that. I kind of see the logic of the instinct of, oh no, we're going to do completely stripped down fights.
Yeah. A locked off wide.
Yeah.
For parts of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how people actually watch boxing, so that's part of it.
Well, yeah. So it's like, it just makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
And there's a nice little moment in the beginning which made me think the film was going to be better than it was, where they're mimicking the kind of VHS quality footage.
Yes, that was a promising start.
Yeah, and then it jumps to HD footage, but they're still in the same fight in the same location. I'm like, all right, yeah, this could be good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's an interesting technique whereby fights are filmed from the outside of the ring, like close up, but from the outside, creating the sense of invading their space.
Yeah.
I know Nolan's a big fan of it. Like, he's praised Safdie for this. It's a moderately interesting technical detail. I can't claim it was all that compelling.
No.
It was mostly shot on 16mm, 70mm, and VHS cameras for some scenes.
Yeah.
Much like The Apprentice. Here, it didn't feel like that added anything.
Yeah.
The Apprentice, he was moving us through time, right? This is just like, we can do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
One thing, I love the bit where they have an MMA fight in Japan early on. And when the Japanese organisers are clarifying the rules for the tournament, someone asks, if the person has their head up when they're on their knees, is it okay to kick them in the face then? And then they're going, yes, that's okay. Tell you, they're fucking mental. The whole thing.
Well, the Japanese or...
Certainly the Japanese, but just fighters, you know? Like, respect to them and all that. But sorry, fucking... And I'd say it to you if you were in the room as well. Like, I think at this point in time, it's just the romance. Boxing is somehow a romantic thing, right? But we just know too much about, like, concussion.
The damage it does to a person.
But would you want it to stop? I don't know. That's a whole debate we get into. But I've seen many an angry man on screen punch a hole in a wall. Never seen a guy bisect a door.
Do you think that was Dwayne Johnson's contribution?
Like my dick is bigger. Like, I'm not just gonna
punch a hole in that door. I'm gonna punch that door out of existence.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lengthy domestic dispute set to Springsteen's Jungleland in its entirety, and it's like a 7-8 minute song.
Yeah.
Don't know about that. We get our training montage, of course, to My Way.
Yeah, again, do you think that might be...
Well, this is the thing. It strikes me that heavy-handed is an appropriate term for this.
Yeah.
As is, it strikes me. But this kind of leads me into the upshot of the whole thing. Some of the trappings aside, I emerged not thinking of this as a Benny Safdie film, but a Dwayne Johnson one.
Yes.
Right? He's a producer. It's definitely a vehicle for him. And I'm fairly certain he and his people originated the project.
Okay.
Safdie was a hired hand. They got him into write and direct, as they did with Stephen Merchant and Fighting With My Family.
Both of which are curious choices, right? They're not your go-to directors. Considering that The Rock could probably get whoever he wants, frankly.
I guess. I mean, with Steve Merchant, I think they were in the, what's it called, that film? The Tooth Fairy.
Oh, yes.
Tooth Fairy together. And he's a comedian. You know, I'll get him to do it. And that's like an okay film.
Yeah.
But this isn't a Safdie film, right? Like,
no.
My Way just doesn't feel like Benny Safdie, you know? I could be totally wrong about that. But having watched the other two, you know, Uncut Gems and Good Time, it's like, oh, he's punkier than that.
It's not colloquial enough to be a Safdie choice.
Dwayne Johnson wanted My Way, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I want The Rock to have his moment to shine, and I am a Safdie enthusiast. But frankly, unfortunately, it's just a bit dull, the Smashing Machine, right?
Yeah, I was bored.
Yeah, it is. It's boring.
Like, I think when I was thinking about like the camera work and stuff, I think that was because I wasn't thinking about the film.
Well, that's because it's like, I got it's some academic. So it's a mildly compelling technical detail.
Yeah.
But to what end? It didn't make me enjoy it more. I just noticed it.
And again, I think there's something to the decision, and maybe they're bound by reality here, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something to the idea of, like, they don't even have to decide if they're going to break the Rocky rule, because he doesn't even make it to the final fight.
And that could be interesting if you do something with it.
The fact that the final fight is kind of happening, like, not off screen, but, like, in the background to Dwayne Johnson just sitting in the medical room.
Well, again, like Rocky in a way, where when they announce Apollo as one.
Yeah.
No, I know it's Apollo Creed.
Well, you hesitated. I didn't know where this was going.
When they announced that Apollo as one, it's his reaction, like jumping up and it's filmed through all these people.
Yeah.
It's just so not important.
Yeah.
It's on Rocky just shouting for Adrian. He doesn't give a fuck about losing the fight, you know?
He went the distance. That's what he wanted.
He went the distance, yeah. It's all about her. I love you too. I fucking love. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna stop now.
Yeah. No one's gonna cry watching The Smashing Machine, are they?
Only out of boredom.
Yeah. I'm still going.
I spent 15 quid for this. That's Chris Stuckman is why critics are necessary.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it, right?
Yeah, it's not like a scathing non-recommendation.
No, it's not a bad film. It's just not very good.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, it's not... It like, The Rock doesn't give a good enough performance for this to be a good role.
This is not the one.
Yeah.
You know, I've been predicting it for years. At some point he was going to do a film like this. And they're doing another film together now, him and Safdie.
Okay.
I don't know what it's about, but he's clearly on this track now.
Yeah.
So...
You'd also kind of hope that if you're doing a film about... Because I wasn't familiar with Mark Kerr.
No.
So you would hope that...
Thank God his first name isn't Nick.
Exactly, yeah. But you would kind of hope that, like, if you're being presented with a film about someone with whom you're not familiar...
Yeah.
By the end of the film, you would know why you're watching a film about that person.
Yeah. Why... I can't remember what review it was where I said, like, most things you watch... They justify themselves in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, right. I get it. That's why I'm watching this.
I remember the Sparks Brothers documentary doing a really good job of that.
Yes.
I remember coming out of that thinking, I totally get
why they are beloved by all these. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
why they've earned that documentary that is in such reverence of them.
Yeah.
I came out of this thinking, yeah, why do I need to know who Mark Kerr is?
And it's also not like, oh, it's about the triumph over his addiction and his marriage, because they broke up.
Well, what's weird about it, is that he has his moment where he's like, oh, I need to go to rehab.
Yeah.
And then he just does. Not just that he does, he has. Because I think a scene or two later, he's like, oh, it's difficult for me now that I've been to rehab. I thought that was the film.
Yeah, they might be a prisoner of reality to an extent, but, like, so what? Like, so how many great true... Like, you've got to fudge it a bit, right? You've still got to make an entertaining film.
And they clearly got the approval... Maybe this is one of the constraints, actually.
Yeah.
Because the actual guy shows up at the end of the film.
Yes.
They just film him doing his shopping, and he's like, goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, what did that say to you?
I guess just that they were like, oh, look, we have the approval of the real guy.
Yeah, because oh, God, it used to be...
And that he's doing all right. Like, after all this time.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But, like, a man shopping alone in a supermarket is actually not the picture of happiness, really. Like, we got to do it.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It was like...
Or is it supposed to be a tragic point about how...
But it's like, if it was like, oh, this guy used to be an A-lister, and now, look, he's in no one even recognises him in the supermarket.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He was never an A-lister that was going to get recognised.
Well, at the time, he was at the top of his game. But the game was so much smaller.
Yeah, from fans of it.
Yeah.
But you could walk around and be unmolested by the public.
Yeah.
And that's how he is at the end. And it's just like... Yes, I'm going, all right, bye. Why have you done this? But, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You good? You done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Frankenstein.
Guillermo del Toro's.
Yes.
Frankenstein.
Billy the Bull's Frankie.
Frankenstein.
Frankie Steen.
Yeah. All the film is about Frankie Steen, indeed.
It is.
I'm not familiar with the original text. I believe you are.
I am.
Yes. So when I was watching this, I didn't know whether this was a faithful take on Frankenstein or not. I believe it relatively is.
It's more or less the Frankenstein story you know. More.
Okay.
It's more, but it's, fundamentally the same,
We start in the Arctic. They rescue Victor Frankenstein from the monster. He's like, oh, if that monster comes back, just fucking give me to him.
Yeah.
And they're like, why? And he's like, all right, well, let me tell you a story.
There is my story.
Yeah. So he tells the story of how he came to create the monster.
Mm-hmm.
Then the monster comes aboard, and the sailors are like, oh, you're a monster. And he's like, well, let me tell you my story.
Yeah.
And he tells his story, and then both stories reach a conclusion.
That's about it.
It's more. There's more to it than that. I can see how that could be seen as me being flippant
But that's about the size of it in a nutshell. Again, another Garth Marenghi quote. The spine of the story, right, with added flesh, is what this is. It abides...
Because bodies.
Well, we don't have to do the hack for everything. I hope some things are implied. But it abides the same structure as the novel, which is epistolary in nature. But it abandons the framing device of the letters, because, the novel is the captain writing home.
Okay.
But the way the story unfolds has been preserved. The supporting cast mostly remain under the radar and do the job. Charles Dance is playing Tywin Lannister, and Christoph Waltz is playing Christoph Waltz.
Was Charles Dance too old to be a father, do you think? Like a father to a child, I should say.
Well, I mean, men can never really be too old, can they?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I know what you're saying.
It just felt a bit like... Maybe just a bit too on the white side of the,
on the what?
White-haired side of things.
Okay, I was going to say, why isn't Victor Frankenstein's father black? Victor Blackenstein. Jacob Elordi is a solid creature, but he doesn't do anything new with it.
Okay.
The best I've seen was probably Benedict Cumberbatch on stage, where the physicality was really everything.
Okay.
Right? That's not the case here. Less is asked of him. Plus, he's semi-submerged in makeup.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac's voice initially evoked King Charles for me. It had a
Yeah,
touch
he's
of that.
definitely trying to do something, isn't he?
Yeah, like it's posh, but it also had actually had Charles in there.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to do this sort of.
Yeah.
You know, it's not Stewie Griffin. I found this Victor a bit annoying, actually.
Okay.
But maybe he's supposed to be.
Yeah, Victor is not portrayed sympathetically, is
No,
he?
he commits to the frazzled, fevered genius thing. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
The costumes, production design, the sets, all what you would expect from a Del Toro film. It's tactile. It employs the material where it can. And when it's stuff, it's good. When it's not, less so.
Okay.
The tangible tools of engineering were rendered not inert, but diluted under the looming CG backdrops. Only the one, really.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. What I love about Del Toro is that he is brilliant at creating a sense of place and time.
He is.
When they're in the Arctic at the beginning, I was like, yeah, we're in the Arctic.
Yeah.
They just filmed in the Arctic. I totally believe that. When they go to 15th century France or whatever it is, I'm like, yeah, that's 15th century France. I totally believe that we are where we are. And I think by the time
I think it's more 19th century, but what's a few hundred years?
Yeah, you know, it's old France,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
All old France looks the same.
Yes.
France looks the same now, maybe. I don't know. I haven't been to France in a while.
No, it's a lot more Muslim-y.
Oh, is it? Okay, never mind then.
It's more burkas than berets.
Right, okay. Do they still have baguettes?
I believe they still have baguettes.
Well, then
Yes.
it's France to me.
That's
you know?
true.
Yeah, maybe I was just like on board with the film enough that by the time the obvious CG backdrops started to leak their way in,
Yeah.
I was willing to forgive the film a bit more. But I can't deny that they are, you can tell they're CG.
Yes, and I'm not castigating the film for that. It's just that, but the stuff is so good.
Yeah.
It's really just the one. It's the lab and the backdrop of that's like, oh, that doesn't look real.
And there are CG creatures later on in the film.
Yes, there is a menagerie of CG fauna.
But, and this is this thing, like, I don't want to seem like, because, yeah, I've been critical of this in other projects before.
Right.
And generally speaking, yes, if you can achieve it practically or if you can fudge it practically well enough, then I would always opt for that. Mm-hmm. But I will admit that the way that those wolves are dispatched,
Yes.
I don't know how you could do that.
No, of course, sometimes
Practically.
it has to be CG.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's wolves, sheep, deer, mice. It's like Cinderella in that forest.
Yeah.
There is sufficient grue. It's proper bloody and squishy in places. When he's close to completing his creation, his lab makes an abattoir look like Lumen Industries.
Yeah.
Right? When the creature mutilates Victor, breaking his bones and his nose, there's real unpleasant crunch to it.
Yeah.
Right, 95% of the time, I don't care about faithfulness to source material. And I don't here particularly. In fact, I might have vouched for something adulterous. But this is one of those rare cases where, yes, I am quite familiar with the text. So to an extent, I made a prisoner of that. Because while I don't care in principle about amendments, the ones for which Del Toro opted weakened the thing, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't recall the creature butchering deckhands in the book. But, okay, I understand the impulse to amplify things for the screen.
Yeah.
The lab is grander, the vista's more visty. It's not guilty of the same crimes that Baz Luhrmann committed against The Great Gatsby. Because don't get me wrong, the novel is gothic melodrama, and it's all hark and fainting. Much of its spirit has been maintained, but it's a relatively short tome. This is 150 minutes.
Yeah.
It really didn't need to be that long. Here's a core quandary. If you want to use Mary Shelley's prose, that's very hard without narration, okay? Because it's letter writing, right? Any adaptation that excises it erases the novel's greatest pleasure, which is its language. At the same time, we already have the novel. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
My impulse would have been to try it without. Maybe they did, maybe it sucked. But it doesn't complement anything we see. It just makes the visible articulate. Victor's mother dies, he weeps on the floor, the voiceover recounts, a part of the universe had been hollowed out, and the firmament was now permanently dark. Beautiful writing, and in that case, incidentally, it's Del Toro's.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it adds, I don't know if it subtracts. My personal preference is pure visual storytelling, right? But that language, you do want that. It really is a tricky one. I do have to commend the script on that front. Del Toro's dialogue is indistinguishable from Mary Shelley's.
Okay.
What may sound like an iconic line might in fact be his. Waltz's character, Harlander, is a complete invention for the adaptation, as is the involvement of the Crimean War. There's not even an analogue for Harlander in the novel. Victor does it all himself, keeping the creature in the dungeon, trying to teach it, all additions. Perhaps to heighten the sense of betrayal, and a more than valid take on Frankenstein.
Yeah, I can kind of see I guess that's something that I would have assumed was in the original novel, because once you've created a creature that is basically like a baby, it's useless.
Yes.
You would want to teach it. You would feel compelled to teach it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this thing, for me, the most interesting part of the Frankenstein story is the wait between the creature's escape and his reacquaintance with Victor.
Okay.
Right? Because, in the book, he comes alive. Victor immediately flees in terror, instantly regrets it, comes back to the lab like a couple of hours later, and the creature is gone. And then that ambiguity and dread just hang over him for months. I wouldn't mind seeing a film set entirely in that window. Exclusively in that window.
Okay.
Maybe you go mad before anything comes back, if there's anything even to come back.
Yeah, just a whole horror film about, like, I know something horrible is coming, and I'm the only one who knows
Right, but it probably doesn't even come back, right? You just go mad before it can. But that's just my own little kind of pet Frankenstein idea.
Okay.
The Arctic stuff was indeed a pleasure. You told me it would be. It was. Ships, ice, snow good. It reminded me of The Terror, but of course that was drawing on things like Frankenstein.
Yes.
It's like a retrospective thing. I like the thematic echo of the captain trying to get his crew to their destination at all costs. Again, in the book, and I am sorry to say that so much. Victor tells the sailors they must continue their mission, but after hearing his story of ahabic monomania, the captain decides to take them home instead. Like, I'm not being you.
Yeah.
It's never subtextual, don't get me wrong. Victor is always conscious of the parallels between them. But there's something more powerful, I think, to never yielding the point. Obsessed right until the end,
Yeah.
Here, he's afforded more of a redemptive regret. And while the creature ultimately forgiving Victor was a nice scene, I prefer the darker and more tragic tone of the novel, wherein Victor succumbs on the ship, the creature boards when he's already dead, mourns him, then vows to throw himself on a pyre before disappearing into the night. It's all just a big tragedy, right?
Yeah.
The creature has rarely been the true villain of the Frankenstein story, and he isn't here. There's always an element of self-defense to his killing. He isn't sadistic. It's more complex in the novel. While Victor is certainly condemned for playing God for his hubris and his fixation, the creature meets Victor's brother, like, after he's gone, right?
Yeah.
Realizes that he's related to Victor and just murders him. He promises to kill Elizabeth on her and Victor's wedding night if he doesn't build him a bride, a promise he keeps. An understandable effort has been made to humanize the creature here. A lot of them have done that. The ending is an optimistic one for him, where we were invited to bask along with him in the rising sun. And that's fine. I just think there's better. Okay? Not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, on any level. But I thought it would be the definitive adaptation, and for me it isn't.
Okay. So you're looking at it through the lens of it being an adaptation?
Partly.
Okay.
Only because I know what the original book is, and what he's done to it, I think, weaken it.
Okay.
Not because it's not like the book. You know, like I said, if I could have got anything, it would have been something entirely unfaithful.
Okay.
Right? Just don't take an element of the book, do your own thing, or whatever. But this thing of, like, basically being the book, but with added stuff, I don't like that, because I don't think they do add anything.
Right, okay.
I like the fact that the creature is kind of a piece of shit as well in the book.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he is a tragic being. And yeah, you've got the gap between him leaving and him coming back. That's, to me, the most interesting part. But the second most interesting part is him with a blind man learning. I love all that stuff too. You can humanize him.
Yeah.
I mean, we know Del Toro has a fondness for monsters.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, this is one of those things where, of course Del Toro should have made a Frankenstein film. It feels so in line with his fascinations, like you've observed in his previous
like
work.
Abrams doing Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're actually just doing it now.
Yeah, like you said, his kind of fondness for creatures, like in The Shape of Water, and all of the kind of creatures he does in Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, it doesn't take it to the ne plus ultra that The Shape of Water did.
No, absolutely not.
Where she fucks the creature.
Yeah. And just like, I remember like in the Pinocchio stop motion film that he did, where the whole thing of that was the reason Pinocchio wasn't a real boy is because he was immortal.
Yes.
Frankenstein is obviously immortal in this.
Yes.
Part of his monstrosity, because they've opted for lack of a better word, prettier take on Frankenstein.
That is a problem as well. Like, I know, like girls fancy Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
I've seen all these things. I saw one thing that was like, oh, Del Toro's really understood that the woman wants to tame the monstrous, and that's why women go for dickheads, and that is true.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. That's all that, right? Vampires. Equally, in the book, anyone who lays eyes on the creature is so disturbed and horrified they run in terror.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see. I want something like, oh, I can't even look at it. you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But could it not be argued that that kind of creature could only exist effectively in written text?
Possible.
Yeah.
Entirely possible. But I would prefer the attempt to do that over it's Jacob Elordi.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't like this pretty creature thing.
Okay.
I mean,
But I also understand that, like, if you are building a man from
Yeah.
scratch, like, you would... I think you would consider the aesthetics of that. You probably wouldn't just, like, shove pieces of body together without
probably
much
put
purpose.
together the strongest body parts, right?
Yeah.
The best brain, the best arms,
You
like
would,
that kind of thing.
but you would probably also give some consideration to, well, people will have to look at this thing.
Yes, but also if you're doing it the 1800s,
Yeah.
I don't know how good you can make it look.
No, it's true.
You know, and it is set then. They haven't updated it or anything
No,
like that.
no.
Yeah, the best Frankensteins that come to mind are Cumberbatch on stage and Rory Kinnear in the Penny Dreadful series.
Okay.
That was a good Frankenstein's creature that got it.
Yeah.
That really got it. And he is a tragic creature. And I understand the thing of, the monsters are people too.
Yeah.
That's like the Pixar thing, right? But make it a monster. Like,
Okay.
actually make it a nasty, and, you know, that can just be moderated by the tragedy of the creature.
Okay.
Yes, so for me, this wasn't it, as the kids say.
Okay.
But okay. But it's still a decent film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm coming from the perspective of someone that is not familiar with
Yeah.
text. And so I can only judge it on its own merits. And I think taken on its own merits, it's a rather good film.
Well, you'd agree too long, though.
It is too long.
Yeah.
Like, it would make it difficult to justify going back to it.
Yeah.
Other than, like, every now and again.
Right.
You know, like, I'll probably see this in a few years.
Sure.
Maybe. But, like, I went to see this in the cinema. Because I thought that was, like, at the time, I thought it was going to be a limited cinematic run. So I was like, yeah, I'll see a Del Toro film in the cinema. That feels like the right venue
Right.
for that. And it just so happened that we went to kind of a luxury cinema where the tickets were more expensive than a regular cinema ticket,
Sure.
if you can believe such a thing exists.
Yeah.
And so there was a small part of me that was like, right, you need to earn this now, Frankenstein.
Right.
And for me, it did.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, there were little aspects of it that I found disappointing. The
Yeah.
runtime was... Because, yeah, I think when the creature's story begins, that was around the time where I thought, okay, a normal film would probably start wrapping up now.
Yes.
And then a whole new film
Yes.
starts. But I was absorbed enough in it that I think it was... For an initial watch, I don't think it was a massive problem, but I think it's a film that makes it difficult to return
Yes,
to.
absolutely. Look, I think I don't know what its reputation will be in the long run.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you know, it's being talked about as one of the Oscar contenders, like not to win, but maybe Del Toro will be nominated.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Oh, it's going to win some of the technicals, sure.
maybe, yeah. And like Elordi, maybe supporting actor. Like, don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'm in the minority. You know, most people do like this film.
Yeah.
I just I want my gothic dark drama to have more darkness in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want Mia Goth seeing it and go, oh, poor baby. I want, you know,
I mean, that was a novelty as well, seeing Mia Goth being relatively
normal. Yeah, no, that's true.
And I say that, like, knowing that she was dressed up as, like, a swan or something.
She dates Shia LaBeouf.
She does date Shia LaBeouf.
So, like, yeah, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, but her dress in this, it's the most, like, that is not a practical dress to wear.
It's a Del Toro dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, oh, yeah, you are
the fag.
Yeah, you can pass as a person, Mia Goth.
Yeah, no, she is a good actress, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, so it's a recommendation from me.
I would recommend it.
Okay.
It's still a decent film, just
Yeah.
not what I wanted.
Okay.
That's it then.
I suppose it is.
And we will see you next time.
All right, then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.